Walkerton is a small rural community in northern Indiana. A few years ago, Walkerton wrestled with a huge problem.
It reminded me of a third world country.
Some of these houses had big holes in the floor.
It was some of the worst housing I've ever seen.
There was serious health and safety issues there.
Infested with insects, bugs, cockroaches.
The streets were so narrow they couldn't get ambulances, fire trucks down the street.
90% of the police calls in the town came from that area.
It was a real blight for the town.
If you lived in West York, you were kind of one of those people.
It wasn't a good environment for anyone.
The neighborhood was called West York, a section of Walkerton where landlords charged outrageous rents for substandard housing. Some of the poorest people in St. Joseph County, Indiana, lived there. West York was an embarrassment, a neighborhood without hope for a better future.
The federal government needed housing for people during World War II for the ammunition plant over at Kingsbury. And so they built several neighborhoods in northern Indiana called plywood villages.
The plan was after the war was over that they would be demolished, and obviously that didn't take place.
These structures were built upon piers, so they had no foundations really. There was no insulation and no way to stop the wind from going underneath the homes to freeze up their pipes. Every winter we had 20 or more calls out there for frozen pipes, and that's per month.
Having practically no functioning insulation, my gas bill is outrageous in the wintertime.
The lady that lived in there that said that, hey, I don't need my house knocked down. I just need help paying my $600 a month electricity bill.
A lot of these structures were duplexes, so you only had 400 to 500 square feet of living space in each half.
Some of the landlords were making $700, $800 a month in rent off of these substandard homes that these people were willing to pay and live in because they didn't know any better.
Renting to mostly new kids that are, I would say, 18 to 25, just starting out on their own.
One house, the bathtub was falling through the floor, and the people were paying $400 a month to rent it.
Over the years, the leadership of Walkerton tried to deal with the West York situation in a piecemeal fashion, but found that that didn't work.
You had 208 families approximately living in a 13-acre area. Anytime a house came up for a tax sale, a fire, a burnout, somebody wanted to sell, the town would purchase those properties, and when they purchased them, then they would knock down the building, make a clean green space, and try to reduce density. That was a very slow process.
Walkerton's leadership realized that only a comprehensive solution would work. Moving out the residents, demolishing West York completely, and building new homes.
Here's the scope of the work. We're going to take a housing project, we're going to turn it into a cornfield, and we're going to take a cornfield and turn it into a new housing project.
That dream could not be realized until a complex funding and investment plan was drawn up and multiple trusted partnerships established.
We needed people who knew that area. We needed people that knew what this change was going to mean to the entire community of Walkerton. And that was the most important thing.
We had Great Lakes Capital Fund. They came in early, and they saw the project and worked with us to assemble everything and explain the project to all their investors.
We have to create something that the investors are going to look at and say, we're willing to take a chance on this because you have all the right people involved.
People would have to bend over backwards in order to make it work, and we had the folks that were willing to do that.
Thank you for inviting us today for this ceremony to celebrate the groundbreaking here at Walkerton for the Dogwood Estates.
It was critical that the city was there, that the developer was there, that the sources of the affordable housing program money from the Federal Home Loan Bank, the state of Indiana, and the stimulus money, the state allocating credits to the development. Those were all critical pieces.
First Source Bank was in the mix, and then we had a great contractor, Granite Ridge.
Once we all came together and talked through, we realized then that it is possible through a collaborative effort to redevelop West York into something that everyone in the community can be proud of.
We had a great team. We really did.
Despite the sincere desire to eliminate the blight of West York, the plan at first met with resistance from some residents.
Screaming mad wouldn't have been the word for it. I didn't like the fact that they could come in and say, "You're moving."
I don't want to move away because this home has been my home for the last 10 years.
They understood the need, but of course, just like with anybody else, it's okay to do it until it affects me.
It was their home, it was where they're at, it's where they felt comfortable, and they just didn't know that there was a better place out there for them.
Once they found out that they were going to have better living conditions and that we were going to help them, almost all of them were very receptive to the project.
When they were able to tell us some more information about where we would be going and different options and how things were going to work out, that helped.
I'm excited. I know it'll be a safe home for my kids.
The effort and the individual approach that was taken to make this work for everyone in the community, that's not something that we necessarily see in every project.
I can see this is going to be a new beginning.
Still, many Walkerton residents were skeptical that such an ambitious redevelopment plan would actually work.
Lots of people at the beginning doubted us, and they thought, hey, this is just another run at trying to get something done here, and it's not going to happen. And it was amazing to see as houses started to fall and roads started to come up. People were like, wow, something really is going on.
Transform this area from West York to Dogwood Estates. So we put in new street names, we changed the whole street structure, we changed the entrances so it looked like a boulevard coming in. We buried all the utilities so that everything was underground and cleaned the area up.
We built 40 single-family, green, energy-efficient homes. They range from 2-bedroom homes to 4-bedroom homes, some ranch, some 2-story.
We moved into Dogwood Estates December 1st. We were a little bit shocked. We didn't think it would be such a nice area. We have 3 kids, and we moved here just to have a nice environment for the kids.
To be able to actually afford a home, a brand new home, with all the amenities and just how beautiful it is inside and outside in such a great family-oriented neighborhood, I never thought that would be possible. And again, because of the great people behind it, here I am.
The home we live in now is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage that's heated, and it came with all appliances, washer, dryer that were front loader, fridge, stove, and dishwasher.
The utilities that I was paying out in my previous home were running about $550 a month. So far, I believe the utilities here combined will be about $200. So the cost savings there alone is amazing.
As soon as the houses were built, they were filled. They are renting the houses from us.
The rents range from $355 a month to $550 a month.
We give them a credit for each year that they live in the home. And then in year 15, they will have the option to buy the houses at a phenomenally discounted rate.
We do home inspections twice a year to make sure that the upkeep is being done and that it will not go back to a West York type project.
People are taking some pride in home ownership and what they have. They're taking care of their houses, they're taking care of their yards. The plan all along was we don't want these houses. We want these houses to go to the people. And so as soon as they are done with their 15 years, this is going to be their home forever.
For the residents who lived here before, while it was still West York, people helped them find new homes, better homes. So it's a win-win for everybody, the community, the old residents, and then the new residents.
It's brought economic development to the area. There's a brand new grocery store, there's retail. This is a great place to be now.
The town of Walkerton has rewritten a dark story, transforming the blight of West York into the bright promise that is Dogwood Estates. People finally named what was wrong, committed themselves to change, and came together to make it happen.
The satisfaction I get is I know that the people that we moved out of the West York area, we have improved their life and their lifestyle. We've touched almost 200 families.
Indiana takes a lot of pride in our rural communities, and it can be replicated. It can't be carbon copied because it is unique to Walkerton. But when you talk about engaging the public, engaging local officials, making sure that you have the right partners, that can be duplicated in any rural community in Indiana.
We've done others like it in Michigan and Indiana and Illinois, Wisconsin. Now we're going to take what we learned with Dogwood to that next opportunity.
Change is possible. Walkerton is a prime example that it really can happen.
Somebody stood up finally and said, we're going to do this. And that's the heart of the story. And that's the thing. If there's a takeaway for anybody to learn from this, it's that.